5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, bro. Same jacket.
Life and Death,
Obviously.
IPA. And do you know what? It's a tropical and citrus flavour, but we are on episode 5 today. What are you drinking when you sip it on?
Any day lager, weeknight.
So we are with week 5 today. We're with the amazing Crackle and Nathan Fowler as well. But
The boys and Nathan. That was our last. A bit of context, Nathan, you guys were on Crackle and Nathan was on the first Crackle as well. So that's why
one of our good friends.
Yeah, to blow
yeah,
smoke
very
up
good
their
friends.
ass.
We're all good friends. What did you say?
Blow smoke up their ass.
Oh, these guys are the best. But anyway, yeah. So we thought how we'd start today would be start talking about Crackle, but first introduce yourself individually and then go into Crackle, how it come about and that and what you've got planned. So if you want to start, Nathan.
Yeah, so I've known Harry for a good few years now, haven't I? Good
Too
couple
long.
of years, yeah, too long. And we've always been into the music and always been talking about the music, haven't we? And we've always known what kind of vibe town needs, event-wise.
Yeah. We've been doing it for years, haven't you? Since you
Yeah,
was like 17. I remember.
Yeah, I've been playing years, but I've been doing all the cheese and that, as well as as well as the good stuff. But with Harry, he just got on me and said, "Look, we're looking to do this night, and I know that's your kind of vibe and what we've been talking about, and
Yeah.
I want you to get involved." And yeah, it's probably one of the most enjoyable events I've done. And I think
Oh, that was a great
everyone-
night. We were saying that.
Everyone
wasn't it?
agrees with that, don't they?
Yeah, everyone who was saying
100%.
that night.
The vibe, do you know what I mean? It was right before Christmas as well, wasn't it? It was the 21st of December.
Everyone's hyped to get out there.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I
The
noticed?
week before we broke up in where?
Do you know what I noticed about that night as well? Because like you've got your group of mates that are massive, like we've got our group of mates that are massive, but everyone there just got on
together.
And it was like,
Yeah.
you Harry's mates, oh, we're Charlie and Will's mates. Oh,
Yeah.
Everyone was just like, just loads of love. It was sick, wasn't
I
it?
said to you in the car, there was randoms who you knew weren't like part of anyone, but they were just like,
They were just sick.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
There was other people there who were just like, they weren't even like, you know, they probably didn't know many of us, but they were just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
They just fitted it, yeah. It was
Like
like a
at
big,
the back of the room, and then he just like,
yeah, it was like a big
involved with
house
everyone.
party, wasn't it? That's
Yeah,
what it was
it
like.
was.
It's the big
Literally
house,
was.
the big house party.
Smiles everywhere, and it was in Meraki as well.
Yeah,
It was
the
in
first
Meraki,
one,
the
yeah.
first one and the
That was
second.
And the
yeah, second.
And he fell over them.
Sponsored by Menachem.
Nah, it is sick, man. I haven't been since it opened though. I couldn't make it, could I?
It's
'Cause-
got the outdoor bit, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
What was it like then? What was that? What's
The
that
outdoor
setup?
bit, the setup in Meraki, I thought the outdoor bit was great, but the restrictions on the sound, which was nothing to do with Meraki, wasn't so great for the
Yeah.
first gig back. It was quite hard to pick up the sound, I thought, but
Get a vibe. going as
overall
well.
it was a good day.
Yeah, it was
I
good,
think
yeah,
everyone
it
enjoyed that one.
That first two back since COVID though, you know what I mean?
That's what I mean. It was me, though.
Yeah.
It was just
Yeah.
good little
It's
bit.
nice to be dancing
Yeah,
again,
it was just a
wasn't
good
it?
gap.
Yeah.
It was sit down dancing like, but arms up like
So how did Crackle come about then between you three? Obviously we know how Nathan got involved in it, but how was
I
the
think
night
there was
born?
talks about it for a while, weren't
Yeah,
there?
because we met through Graham, didn't we?
Yeah.
One of our mates. One of my mates I went to school with. Met through Graham, didn't we? And you always used to ask me to play your event to start
yeah,
with.
well, I
That's
think
how
it was-
started
Why did you have an
originally.
event beforehand?
No, sorry.
Did I?
The
It
plans
was,
were...
well, it was planned. It was one of them, do you know, where you've been like, out all night and like, you're chatting shite and like,
Yeah. Gonna do an event,
go do
man.
a thing. And then I think it was like after we went to where did we go? We went to Pirate, didn't we? That time
Yeah.
we had a little mix
We did,
there,
yeah.
Pirate Studios, and we were like, yeah, we're into like cinema music, and then like,
Yeah.
yeah, it just sort of went from there, didn't it? And then obviously we've
Pirate was the first night that I met you, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So that's Pirate Studios and like
Pirate
just
Studios,
mixing and
yeah,
practicing.
yeah.
Yeah.
it was great. Remember Pirate Studios before, obviously, they're all little rooms.
yeah.
So remember there was one big one?
Yeah.
Oh, it was amazing. It was literally...
And there was no cameras.
You're booking for the hour and a minute for 9. best £4 you'd ever
We
spent.
went and there was literally about 70 people there. There was literally about 70. You couldn't get in and out the room. The door was like open, but people were like pure sardines.
Charging in and
We have
everything.
full family setups and then.
Wristbands in But so you used to DJ together yourselves, don't you, anyway? So was it your idea to start a night and then Harry kind of merged in? How did that?
Really, but I don't know. I think we.
Well, I think originally we didn't really know each other that well, did we? When we first spoke about it, because I'd never really met you at that point, had I?
So we all like, yeah.
It wasn't until we started to meet up a little bit more.
Yeah, we were just
I think you
playing
come
music
to my
together
house
for a bit,
party,
yeah.
didn't you?
Oh, so was that recent then? Like that? How long
Well,
ago
yeah, that was when we started
Yeah.
getting like closer. It was around about that time when we moved into the flat, had the party, and then it was after that we decided to go to
Yeah.
party, wasn't it? And then that's where
I
Crackle
remember
was
after
born.
yoga one night. I remember you saying you were going. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
So how long was that process where you said, obviously you said you wanted to start off till you actually started the event?
Not that long, was it?
No.
What do you think?
Did it feel?
I reckon
quick?
it was, well, you could probably put
a
it.
few months.
Yeah, because I reckon we moved into the flat around about July. I think it was July. Yeah, it was just after Glasgow. So it was July to December. If
So
you want
less
to put a
than
time
6
frame on it,
months,
but it was
less than
October time was when it started to we
Yeah,
put the
probably
plans
was
together
going,
around about
I reckon you
October. I'd
asked me
say.
in October, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boss.
Yeah, we were just mixing a lot at the time, and then
I think we planned like quite far ahead as well, though, didn't we?
Yeah.
Because we were thinking like, oh, it's our first thing, we've never done anything like that.
Yeah, you want to make
Well,
sure.
I hadn't anyway, like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely.
And yeah, we were all just a bit like, oh, you know, we've got 3 months, that's a long time
Yeah.
to get everything
Yeah.
in place, but really, you know,
Is it not?
you probably don't need that long, do you know what I mean?
Oh, really?
Obviously,
Yeah.
it's good to like, obviously,
Yeah.
I don't know, we just got all plan stuff and I can't, you know, get everything
Yeah.
together, but I think we were like, very like, whoa, you know,
It was
this
new, innit?
this is new territory,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
like,
But
oh,
it did
man.
go swimmingly, it was just a shame about the music, really. No, it was a great. Was it all local DJs that night?
Yeah.
it
It was to
was.
say,
It was,
Nathan,
yeah.
you were on, and I say, obviously, you were on. Who else was on with you?
Yeah,
Josh-
Josh Birch,
Josh Birch was
yeah,
on
there.
Josh Birch.
It was a banging night.
Lad, it was a sick night.
Oh, it was.
Whenever I think about it, well, we put on Instagram what was the best night you've had in Liverpool. I wanted to say Crackle me, but like you can't say Crackle, do you know what I mean? But I thought they're coming on and that.
Yeah.
But nah, honestly, it was just up there. You know, sick nights when you. I think as well, if you're gonna have a party and you're not finding a party you can want to go to yourself, you might as well put it on yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
What would have been the thing that stopped you? Do you reckon? Like, for someone who's starting or thinking of doing something, what would you say to someone who's like, I don't want to, but I'm not going to?
I think for me, to be honest, it was because like there was multiple like people doing it together. Do you know what I mean? I don't think like I personally would have found that a bit like daunting on my own. Like, oh yeah, I don't know how this works, how that works. Do you know what I mean? But I
Yeah.
think that we all had the interest and we were all like, oh yeah, well, you know, we all sort of contributed a bit in terms of like sorting it type thing. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I found it daunting, but I don't think it is something that you should be like, you know.
I
sort
think
of
in
worried
Liverpool
about,
as
like,
well, like, it sounds mad, but every man and his dog's doing an event.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I
yeah.
mean.
Yeah.
It's just like,
But at the same
Do you
time,
reckon
it's
it's
a
like-
tech event, innit? It's always like a
Yeah.
tech house event, and it's
Yeah,
always
yeah.
like a locals, like maybe a half-assed effort type thing. But I think you knew the market that you
Yeah,
were
yeah,
going
yeah,
into. And that's why I didn't think there'd be any troubles with selling it out.
Did it sell out, did it? Yeah.
It was close. I
didn't
think
it?
capacity
Yeah.
is 200 and we got to about 180, I think. So
Yeah.
I think it was more
50.
capacity is like 3, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, we ended up getting to like 2
sold
something.
out.
Did we get to
Because I think it was on the door, quite a lot of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And,
loads of people.
Which we were
came in
surprised.
Yeah,
and
loads of
out.
people. I was on the
Yeah.
door for a bit now. I was
It
thinking
was
like,
busy,
nobody's
though,
coming
weren't
in.
it? Like, couldn't imagine 300 people in Meraki.
No.
There's quite a big space in the back, in the corner though, by the bar, isn't there?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
quite
yeah.
empty.
That, like,
It
a
doesn't
little
look
party
empty
thing.
when it's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. I know what you mean, like.
I think the longest part of the process is picking a name is the hardest part. I think.
Oh, lads, we had it with
Because-
this, didn't we?
Before Crackle was even a seed, we was talking about it,
Yeah,
weren't we?
we were
And
debating it, weren't we?
the struggles and
Logos,
us just getting a name, a
logos and-
logo, and
yeah.
it was just long.
Yeah, so where did the name come from?
We were going on for weeks and
Yeah.
weeks.
One of you eating Rice Krispies and thought,
I think what was your name?
Charlie, it was Crackle something,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
To be honest, it was
Crackle
just a
Wax
bit
was
of a, like,
originally what we were
yeah.
Is that what it
talking
was going to be called?
Yeah, and then obviously Wax was a night in Liverpool, and we thought,
Yeah.
don't want to like
Yeah,
have
sort of
different,
yeah, and
Yeah.
obviously
Not that, you know.
nothing to do with
Just
Wax,
like-
obviously.
It is
No,
all
but
on
yeah,
wax.
it
we
was
just
that.
dropped the Wax, and then we thought at first Crackle weren't like 100% settled, was it? And then it just
Ah,
grew
so
on us and
sorry,
grew
yeah,
on us, and then
I remember
yeah.
you messaging me and you messaged me, he was like, what do you think about Crackle? And I was like, don't know about Crackle, you know, and then I seen the logo and seen your market, and I was like, you know what, that looks sick.
And like sometimes,
I proper liked it, yeah.
It's when we got the logo tied in. When we got the logo tied in and the name, it just looked right. So.
Yeah. And sometimes as well, like the Crackle comes from a vinyl, doesn't it? Like
that is where it comes from. It doesn't come from Rice Krispies, by the way.
Harry does love Rice Krispies.
I'll have a Pyrex bowl. No jokes.
I've got to say though, you had an event scheduled for March, didn't you? And the marketing for that, the poster, it's still up in my room now.
Yeah, it's still one of
the best event that never happened.
It was a dream for me to be on the on a Rice Krispies poster. It's still a dream come true.
Yeah. It's still your WhatsApp picture, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Now we'll get it up as well because it was proper good. And obviously, going forward to that, I got cancelled because of this little virus, if you've heard of it or not. I don't know if you have. It's gone around everywhere. But it got stopped because of that. What's been the difficulties?
Yeah, what was your biggest challenge? Has that been your biggest challenge? It's like
obviously,
a night?
You had a night that week, didn't you?
Yeah, we had it that week.
When things were shut.
So it was on the Saturday where it locked down, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was half made up because we were the backup DJs when we were getting pulled in. And then it got to the 30 and Harry was like, this isn't going ahead, you know. I was like, we can still do it, surely, one more.
I remember you asking us each day, like, would you still come on Saturday? And I was like, yeah, would you still come on Saturday? We got to the Friday, I was like, don't think we will.
No, it was because we could technically still win it on, and it was on the Saturday, the day.
Yeah.
Was the Saturday was when the
Did the
lockdown
pub shut
started.
on the Friday?
No, because St. Patrick's Day was the Friday. And time was chocolate for Paddy's Day, wasn't it? So it was the Saturday that it shut down. But we'd spoke with the we'd spoke with North Shore Troubadour before then and cancelled it before the government did anyway.
Just wouldn't have been that responsible, really.
You don't want that.
Right atmosphere
you want everybody there.
It was crazy.
You know what I mean, really.
People were on edge and all about it.
Yeah, and you'd be going from that one by Crimbo to that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like 2
that's what I mean. You want to just keep it.
Of course,
keep it nice. Do you know what I mean? Keep it.
So when you say we, Nathan, we're backup DJs. Did you mean Renascido?
Yeah.
So who was on that night? Sorry, wasn't it meant to be someone from Barcy flying in?
Yeah, one of our mates, Adrian.
Oh yeah. Oh, is he your mate as well?
Yeah.
That's sort of how we knew, I think, weren't it? Because when his flight got cancelled, we were like, yeah, stuff is starting to
serious.
Might maybe scrape it.
But yeah, that was it. And then you were going to come in, weren't you?
Yeah,
Is that quite a new duo that's coming on along, is it then, yeah? Yeah,
it's mad. Me and Connor Duffy met him when we done the season. What was it, 2018?
Yeah.
Obviously the typical, I'm a DJ, so am I. I like making music, so do I.
You made our beat as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
Thank you. I just want to go on camera saying thank you very much for that.
Very, very good. You know the people who message me
me for tunes.
But a lot of people who message me like, by the way, that intro's boss. So what we
use the code Minerva 10 for 10% off.
I didn't agree that.
So one thing we're going to do is we're going to bring out the logo for you on a record label, a very big record label. Minerva Melodies.
Minerva Melodies, lad.
So, it's going to be coming out soon for ourselves. But yeah,
so
how did you find the intro? Well, it's going to be, what we're going to do is, I say, obviously, we've told you as well.
Our two biggest passions, chatting shit and music. So we're doing one now, and then we're going to just go into like a SoundCloud. Usually doing mixes, aren't we? We'll use some of yourself.
All them on the couch here, Lost Art Sound System. Harry Goldborn and of course Nathan Fowler as well are going to do us a little mix as well.
Renascido as well, if you both want to do a mix together.
Yeah,
do one of each, lads.
Do one of each. So yeah, if anybody wants to get involved, send us a little mix, get us out there by all means, give us a little shout, do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
But what was it like doing the intro? Because obviously you are mainly house and disco and tech.
How would you categorise your sound, by the way? Sorry to interrupt you.
It's a bit mad. I think at the moment, when you look...
Like Flashdance with a bit of MC Hammer shit.
Synth pop. Few guitars in there as well.
But go on, what was it like doing something out, not out your comfort zone?
It wasn't mad, but I've always wanted to do it. But because any time that I'm making music in the studio, you don't obviously want to go off track for
Yeah,
what
you
you're
wanna
making
stay
and where
in
you're
the
trying to
zone.
get to with the music.
Why would you? You've got no need
Exactly,
to, yeah.
but when you ask me, I say you asked me, I kind of put it on you, didn't I?
Yeah. We were made up,
music,
though.
by the way. So yeah, it was nice to step out, and it was like something that I actually enjoyed, to be fair. And
We're just sending you loads of tunes, weren't we? Like, we
yeah,
like this, and we like this.
like saying you wanted like lo-fi with like a bit of hip hop.
Yeah.
Well, not you, but Rhodes was saying it behind your back anyway.
We're saying put hip hop in, Jamie.
He hasn't agreed to it, but get it in.
Said you wanted that, but I already had these vocals from shout out Rachel Ward.
Yeah.
From
Got a good set of lungs on it as well, to be fair.
Yeah, very good. She was doing vocals for the tune that I was making. Then I thought I'd just whack it on what I'd made use, and it worked.
Yeah,
It was
I think you're happy for
Well,
that.
then
I'd made up with it for the amount of people.
Yeah.
Like, where can we get that tune? That's why we were like, we should just release that on a SoundCloud.
Yeah.
You can get him to make you one if you want. Everyone loves it, though.
Yeah,
it's great.
Nah, I'm glad, because it's obviously, as I say, it's out my comfort zone, but it was something that I did enjoy.
I put it on, brushing my teeth, mate, play it twice, 2 minutes. I'm not messing that.
You just put a timer on, couldn't you? Instead, I'll put the intro on twice.
That's sick, because you only hear it for like 10
Have you got the MP3 version of it, have you?
No, I've got the a WAV file. What have I got? Have I got a WAV?
Quality, full WAV,
Is that what it is, yeah? Yeah, it doesn't
Must
talk
have no
about
storage.
It's on vinyl soon.
It'll be on fire.
Under the name Crackle Wax. But going on to used to be like individual DJs and everything like that, so how long have you all been DJing for, would you say?
Or into music. Because I know.
Well, when did it get to a stage where you go, you know what,
For that.
I want to get a pair of decks.
Yeah.
So what with me anyway, I was just in Charlie's all the time, and he'd have like just this little controller.
But going back further than that, have you always been into music?
Yeah, I think it stems from like skateboarding as well. Like
Yeah. That's how you know,
there's
isn't it?
yeah, that's how I
it
met
is,
Charlie.
isn't it?
But
How we met.
that's mad, that, isn't it? Forgot about that.
The epiphany coach.
Like, there's always been like a big like scene around like music in skate videos within skateboarding. So like
Yeah.
I've always been like turned on to like music in that way, but like proper like mixing and like
Yeah.
like,
Being involved in music.
yeah, being involved in music, I'd say. It's like, when was it? I don't even know.
I don't know, you know, it's all years just seem to go into one, I think.
Yeah.
You can't really pinpoint like, oh, it's probably this time, but it's probably like, what, about
Like
Do you remember the first-
2017?
something like that, yeah.
Do you remember the
Maybe
first
it's
like
not.
time you DJ'd together? Like
Together.
two other
Did you
people?
do something
Yeah,
like,
as a-
yes!
On the merchant, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
And was it just
so just
back
for the
to back?
viewers, you used to go under Lost Art sound system, don't you, together?
Yeah.
Lost Art Escape Band as well. So
Yeah.
is that how it come about, the name? Just because like
Yeah,
that meant
yeah.
so much
Was
to
it
you
like-
as well?
Yeah.
I think it was because like Paddy, who runs like No Faking, he sort of, you know, it was sort of, he's got us set up with stuff, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he
So, like,
sort of got us like, you know, playing in the merchants and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whereas
Shout
before
out the
we were
merchants.
just a little promotion.
So what
But
did
yeah, I think it was just from that there.
So
yeah.
did you say to him, can we use the name Lost Art and that? Did it have to
No,
go like
it
that?
was
Just
sort
sort of
like,
happens.
just
Did
you know
it,
what I
happened,
mean?
yeah.
Like, with the shop moving upstairs and like
Sick, that.
everything like that, just sort of like all rolled
into
into
land.
like
That's
one.
about it.
all
one
connected,
thing,
like
yeah,
I said on
yeah.
Left before.
That is sick.
Yeah, it was-
So, sorry to interrupt. So when was your first like gig then?
It was, I mean,
Eyes lost on sound system, do you know what I mean?
first
I
probably
mean, we
gig,
were playing
yeah.
in the merchant like
For-
for a good,
Was it,
year,
yeah?
good
A while,
year
yeah.
or so, and then we did Laces Out.
Yeah.
In the
did
Women
that one
Factory,
in
that
the-
was good though.
Yeah, that was
that?
that
Where
was
was
the
that,
first.
sorry?
In the Invisible Women
Oh yeah,
Factory.
yeah.
It's
Like
the
the after
first,
party? Oh no, the
No,
oh I
just
remember,
the-
yeah, I remember,
yeah.
yeah.
Like the actual event, and then
Was you outside there?
I
Was
was.
that outside? Because there was
no,
a
we
garden.
were inside on the
Yeah.
little stage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Joe Kay was
Um,
outside, wasn't
Yeah. But we had someone, I think Kitchen Street was the first proper
he?
one.
Yeah,
Baltic
Kitchen
Weekender.
Street, Baltic Weekender.
That was probably like the first proper,
Big
you
gig
know,
that.
a big
Yeah.
one. Like, well, bigger than the merchant. What we were just doing, like, not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm saying like
You weren't
that we
thinking
were just
about
doing
it.
that
Yeah,
constantly.
yeah,
do you know what I
yeah.
mean?
Of course.
But
yeah.
I think that was the
Was that with Nina Kravitz on that Baltic Weekender as well?
she was on
that,
the
yeah.
same
That's a
lineup,
big
yeah.
lineup to be on.
We were on
Yeah.
Kitchen Street, weren't we?
Yeah, we were on before Egyptian Lover.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Very
That was
good.
brilliant,
That was
yeah.
so
He
good.
does live sets, doesn't he? Does he?
Oh,
do
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, it's the 808 and that, and he's just
literally
Oh,
had it on his
box.
shoulder, like.
Put you to shame.
It was a
We
boss
went-
little gig, that, wasn't it?
We went into that like thinking, oh, it's gonna be like, because Egyptian Love, it was us, then No Faking,
Yeah.
then
Sonic
Egyptian
Youth
Lover.
before us,
And,
weren't
yeah, and Sonic Youth were before us, so we were thinking we'll have to like tone it down a bit for Paddy, because Pad's, not that he plays hip hop, but like that sort of vibe. And we went in there thinking, yeah, we'll play a bit of hip hop, and like, but
Not
man,
chill
it was
as well.
going off. Like everyone, like proper packed full of like Sonic
It was
Youth.
proper going off. And
Would you say that's your favourite gig you've done then?
For me, I reckon it was.
Yeah,
to be honest,
one of.
What
Yeah,
about what are
definitely.
you used to? What would you say your favourite gig you've ever played in Liverpool is?
Me,
Lad, you've got a lot to choose from, you. You've played some belter gigs in
I know.
Liverpool.
It depends really, because if it's to do with like more like the undergroundy side, it'd have to be the boat party.
Remember that boat party?
That was my favourite
We
gig
were
of
all
all
like
time.
that.
That's mad, we didn't even know each other there, did we? That was
was
so
so
good.
Like, were you playing as well?
We didn't play it, no.
Oh, you were just there,
We weren't
were you?
even
Yeah.
DJing
I
at the
played
time.
that
We just...
party.
Says everything.
That was mad. That
For a
was
bit of context,
that
the
was so
boat
like
was, so if you know, it was Juice FM at the time where Capital is. If you look to the docks straight out of there, the boat was literally right there.
Yeah,
the
it was
big
there,
red
yeah.
one, the big
Yeah.
red
It was
one.
the big
Yeah.
red one that was there.
It
So
had like a bar on, and that was
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
The people who owned it was sick as well. Do you remember speaking to them?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
stayed till
Yeah.
about 6 o'clock or so. We just, because you lose track of time, because it's all like when you go
Yeah.
inside the boat and that, and you're like, yeah, and then you're
time
like,
doesn't matter in the boat.
6 o'clock, what's that happening?
No, but
Do you know
it was
what
outside, like we were on, like playing on the deck, and
Yeah,
you
on
looked
the
down
outfit.
to like, I don't know what
Yeah,
it was,
the
like,
actual
all
thing,
in.
yeah.
And then we went inside. Yeah, we were there till about 4, I think. That was sick.
That was a
day.
boss
Yeah,
night.
I forgot about that.
I think
actually.
it just came out of nowhere, that event as well, because we didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Everyone
Everyone turned up as well, didn't they?
We done it as like an invite only as
Oh,
well.
was that
'cause-
your event?
Yeah, it
Yeah?
was me
Okay.
with like Jimmy Orr,
Oh, I remember, yeah.
Jay Bradley and that, and we done an invite only because we thought if this
So
fella
many
wants
people
us
on
to
the
do
door
it,
as well.
yeah, this fella wants us to do it well, but without any like murder basically.
Mm.
So we were like, let's just invite people we know and let them invite their mates, and we'll limit it at that. And we sold the tickets out, and people were just on the boats, just trying to get on all day because
Yeah.
they were seeing the videos.
Yeah,
And,
getting down there.
Yeah, it was a belter, like
It was
it
a
was
sick
boss.
day.
But I remember I done like 10 days in Ibiza and landed the day before.
Yeah, oh, lads, I remember you saying I could just
felt
finish next day.
awful. Yeah,
Shape
you
back
need
on
a
it.
few days off. I felt terrible, but when I got on there, lads, it was boss, and I went back to feeling terrible the next morning. But
What about yourself, Harry? What would you say the best gig you played in Liverpool is?
I'd probably have to say my first big gig which was in Movement, which was me and you made the mix for that. In Constellations
That was boss.
last summer. And, it was,
That was a sick
Con-
day as well, though.
Constellations
good,
is
though.
one of my favourite venues, and
Yeah,
for
it
my
is.
first big gig to be in Constellations, I'd have to put it
Outside
to
as
that
well,
one,
weren't it?
outside, yeah.
messaging me buzzing, weren't you? Like,
Yeah,
I
it
was
was made
gutted
up.
I was away from
And
that.
then you let me down, didn't you?
Yeah,
Going on
I
holiday,
went on
lads.
holiday,
We won the mix together, let me go on my own, yeah.
There was a competition through Movement, wasn't it? And the same,
Yeah.
of course, you two won the
Yeah.
competition with a massive mix. Get on it.
Link in the bio.
And yeah, from it, do you know what? We were there that day, and there was a Movement, which is a great event as well, to be fair.
Movement was so good.
It was a
That
good
was
lineup
such
as
a
well,
good day,
wasn't it?
that, yeah.
It was a proper good lineup. Was Shapeshifters on? Was
Shapeshifters
on, yeah.
in the
And Mighty Mouse
in the
as well.
inside, yeah,
Yeah.
and Mighty Mouse, yeah.
And it was just...
And every DJ that was on was so good as well.
Yeah.
Paige Tomlinson was on as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a belter there.
Yeah.
Boss.
Good
They
DJ.
started pissing down when she was outside, didn't they? And everyone had to go in and
Yeah.
felt sad. Everyone just went inside. It was like, ah.
She ended up on with Mighty Mouse though, back
Yeah,
to
she
back.
got back to back with Mighty Mouse. Yeah, she's
Nice
come out
that.
on top there. Have you ever played back to back with Mighty Mouse, Ben?
No, I've never played back-to-back with anyone, so...
I'm
get a-
sorry for you there, lads. Do you want to go back to back with me?
Let's do it, lads. Come on.
So how did you get into... Oh, yourself, Charlie. Sorry, how did you get into music? Through
was I
skating
into
as well?
No, to be honest. Well, I think, to be honest, me, like, no, the typical thing, yeah, my mum was into this, my dad was into
Yeah.
this, but
That's
not
mine
be
as
honest, because
well,
of me and my dad, though, yeah, because
Yeah.
I listened to, like, a lot of different types of music, to be honest, like,
Yeah.
so, like, my mum was into all stuff, like Bob Dylan, like, you know, Johnny Cash, like, the
Yeah.
Doors, all that type of thing,
Yeah.
but then, like, my dad was into that, but he's into, like, all the type of stuff that, you know, weren't really used to wearing, or,
Yeah.
like, so I think that's how I was, like,
It's good
into
to have a
music,
blend, though,
but
innit? Therefore.
Yeah.
I think that, like, dunno, yeah.
A big...
Just sort of start out of nowhere, just with a little.
And what was the
shit
first pair of
control.
decks you had?
Yeah.
I had
remember?
a little Denon, I don't know how you pronounce it, but yeah, it was
Was it
a little
standalone or was it with a laptop? Do you have to use a laptop?
No, you had to use a laptop with it, yeah. It was just like a controller, but it was like tiny. It was good though for what it was, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We used it for how long? Like a good few years, didn't
Yeah,
we?
you
feel
playing
posh
with
when
the
you
merchants on that.
First time I played, I used. And everyone was, I see me mate in there and he was like, why are you using that? I was like, I don't know how to even use CDs. I don't know how to script it then, do you know what I mean?
That's sick.
Set on top of like 2 Pioneers CDJs.
Yeah.
How did you put it on
Yeah.
top?
Don't need that.
Like this little controller.
Let's get a proper setup on that.
That's sick.
I was
that
on
is.
it.
I love that controller.
What about yourself, Harry? What was the first one you had? Did you have was it the S8 you had first?
No. The first one that I had was the Serato Mix Track Pro 2.
Is that what I had? You told me what to buy for me first. I don't even know
I
that.
think you had the Pioneer version of mine, so you
Oh, yeah,
you
I
had
did,
the
yeah.
Snobs version of mine.
The muggle
Mine was
version.
only 90 quid on eBay, first year uni student. That was my first one, but quickly moved on to the Tractor S8,
Yeah.
was what I went to after that. But I didn't really like the Tractor S8 though, to be honest, not to this tractor or anything. Just went
It's
from
all
like,
done for you, isn't it?
yeah,
That's
it was
like
just too
everything.
automatic. It was all
That's why I don't
synced.
like it,
I've
so-
always
It's the little pad that you have to beat match with. It's just too hard to use, so you
I
don't
learned
even
on-
use it.
I learned on an app which cost me 10p. Student skint, even skinter than you. I played with me mates just in this and that, and I just that learned how to mix tunes together in a way.
Yeah, like the structure of
Yeah,
music.
but then
yeah.
going on, I would say the question I'm gonna ask you is afterwards. Like went on to CGJs and everything like that. I was enjoying it then. You got obviously you had vinyl in yours. Come to yours. I had a little go on. It was like whoa, and the satisfaction you get off that.
Yeah. It's
So
like
all
playing an
you-
instrument, isn't it?
Yeah, so all you mix on
So
vinyl
good,
now.
that.
When did that start? Where you think, you know what, I need to mix on vinyl, not using my USB anymore. Do you know what I mean?
I think it goes to when I went to what you've got now. What's your one called? The
RX2 man, but you had the
Yeah, I had
RX
the
one.
one,
didn't
yeah, and
And
then
you got your turntables
yeah.
inside, didn't you?
After so long, that just turned into like the beat matching was too easy on that then, and then you just get a little bit bored and you want something more. And then I got a pair of Geminis, which were only 200 quid on the cheap, and put them next to it. And as soon as I started playing records, I was like, I need a full record set right now. And I didn't touch.
As you broke the bank for your records,
Yeah.
every day you'd send your
Honest
photo
to
of
God,
7 records.
So
Being
it's the
postie.
most addicting thing that you can ever get involved with, is buying
I thought he
records.
says to me, how much do you reckon on average, would you spend on a month on records, would you say?
A lot.
I've tried to slow down lately, to be honest. Trying to save up.
Bit of an addiction, is it?
Well, when you the first year, I'd say maybe like 100, 200 quid
Yeah,
a month
it's
on
not-
records. Easy. Yeah.
You need to build a collection, don't you, at the same time, but
You have to start, especially maybe even more when you first start, because you just don't have enough to start with. You just keep needing more, so you buy like little
You get bored,
bundles.
don't you? Because you've only
Just
got a
caught
couple of tunes to
Yeah,
mix.
yeah. So I bought like a couple of bundles, and then I was like, you get a bundle, and you end up don't liking 10 of the 15 that you bought. So
Well, mine
is-
stemmed from the music because stuff that I was starting to play was like the minimal side of things.
Yeah.
If you went on SoundCloud, I started noticing vinyl only.
Yeah,
And
the same.
to me, I was like, why is that a thing? Like, you're obviously cutting your market, but it wasn't that. It was to limit the people who were playing that song.
yeah.
And that just like blew me away. So I thought we were going back in time, but it was actually a boss thing because when you're buying
better, innit?
records, you're getting stuff that no one else is playing, so people are going to want to play you more because they like what your taste is. So I think, a couple of years ago, that's how I got into it. And
I'm in groups, like you on the group, musical identificational group on
Yeah,
Facebook.
to leave that,
Well, people put on it
It's
like,
too much now.
people
Too
put
much,
it like, got this track, just on like a bundle,
I
don't know
mean,
what it is, there's
yeah.
nothing on it. Do you have any songs like that where you're like, I need to know what this is, and you just don't know what it's called?
white labels.
White labels,
I
labels,
got
yeah.
I done like a thing on eBay the other day, and it was like a random selection of garage tunes, 10 from his collection for 20 quid. I got them, and at least 5 of them were white label, and they were bangers. But I
You
got
don't
a
even know
clue
what it's
they
called.
are.
Yeah.
I
ID
don't know
by
how to
ID.
remember what's what. I just put banger 1, banger. Take what I remember on the night.
Which one's which? That's sick.
If you look on the engraved in the vinyl though, you can get the codes.
Can you?
You can get the
Sometimes
codes.
they're not even on there.
Sometimes,
I didn't know what they were
sometimes
for.
the codes are just battered and you
Yeah,
can't
well, you
read the
just-
codes, but
I didn't know that's what they were for.
Yeah, if you put that
Every
code
day's a
into
school
Discogs, it'd probably come up.
Every day's a school day.
Every day is a school day, lad.
University of life.
So what about you getting into music then? Where did that stem from? Because I know your dad's big into it, isn't he?
Yeah,
Is it from your dad?
100%
Is it?
my dad, like,
Yeah.
he's massive into it, but he
What
was...
is your dad into? Like, obviously, I know, like, is he, like, into the
makes
same...
beats and
No,
that?
he
Yeah.
makes beats, but did he make beats? Was he making, like, tech beats? Was he making, like...
He was always like
break beats, or was it, do you know what I mean?
he always loved dance music, and it was always like hardcore and happy hardcore and like
Proper top off sweating.
glow
sticks.
And that's what he started getting me into. So I got tethered for a bit for that. And then I started, the next step for me was Scouse House, because that was the closest thing to what I could listen to that wasn't that dead heavy and banging gear. But he's always loved like music, and he's always wanted to make it, and he said to me he's always wanted to make it. He's always had programs on computers for years, and admittedly he tried to get me on them and I never wanted to know because it just looked too complicated. But now he's got his own little setup in the back room. Me and him are scrapping to have a go with the speakers to make tunes. But that's what started with me, I think, when I was like 14.
It's nice having that push as well when you're from that age, going, your dad going, listen, let's make a banger together, innit? Do you know what I mean?
I was saying you get fed up with the decks after a couple of months, like, there's no point getting them.
Yeah, you want to prove them wrong then,
me
no,
corner and Santa brought me them, and next thing I'm headlining the Coaching Horses.
Do you want decks actually with the first decks I had to go on?
Yeah, they were the
after school.
Pioneer 850, still got them.
Yeah, have you?
Yeah, I got them in a bed the other day.
I used them. Was that the ones you brought to his 21st?
Yeah, I seen a video the other day actually,
Yeah.
It's sick, that's
Sit down memory lane there.
I started on West though, they were called Citronics, and the BPM never used to stay still. They just used to go up and down all the time.
Yeah.
And I like this little new mark.
Made you the DJ you are today, didn't it?
Yeah.
You could just bring your tune back in.
Back to me roots.
That's why you use the sync button all the time now then, probably, innit?
Not a challenge no more, like, just sing.
What in terms of the best venues you've ever played then? What do you think? What's your views on like venues shutting down and that? Like, because obviously it's been happening for years, and now it's happening even more so with this. It's mad, isn't
I feel
it?
like it's going to carry on as well.
Do you think? Yeah.
Especially with like obviously what's going on.
Yeah.
People are trying to scrape back the money that's lost, and nothing's going to be profit this year, is it? And
Not
for venues that are already possibly struggling beforehand and just get by over the summer, I don't see how it's going to do so well by the end of the year.
Is it like, I think a lot of it is like residential, isn't it? Like Kitchen Street was meant to be shutting, Constellations were going to be shutting recently. Nation actually, Nation went in there for residential, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
How
high
good was
costs
Nation?
as well though, like they do have high costs to keep going at venues, like especially like ones where they only have Friday and Saturday where they only have like events on. It's like there's only 2 days of the week where they're really making money, and they've got to make the money. So it's hard, but
I think
it's difficult, isn't it, for all musicians? It's not just DJs, it's all musicians. It affects grassroots and creativity from like the younger, not even just younger, new into the industry.
It's just stunted everything.
Not immature, like premature, like people who were starting out in anything.
Yeah.
It's mad because I remember in uni when Nation shut down, and I remember speaking to people about it, thinking like that is the reason. The knocking buildings like that down to build student accommodation, but the reason students come to Liverpool is for buildings like that. Do you know what it's?
But they're seeing like the Baltic, they're going, that's the busiest area.
Let's build flats
there. But they're taking away what the reason is. So it's just going to have a knock-on effect, and then there's going to be no
people aren't going to
with a
want
lot
to
of students
It's like
in flats.
The thing with Liverpool, I think, was we don't have. You go to Manchester, they've got like. Can't think of anything off the top of my head. But London, for example, they've got like Fabric. There's got historic clubs where people will go, I want to go there. What do we have in Liverpool where we can pinpoint and go, that club has got history.
Nation was
everything. Nation was that. Do you know what I mean?
I only went once, me, after Crackle in the asylum.
That's the first and last time I went.
I went a few
times. I think played. Or was it Danganronpa played?
I can't remember who was playing that night.
I think he was. I think he was. I used to be a proper EDM.
D-Tron, I think, and Danganronpa.
D-Tron, I remember D-Tron being on. He weren't that good to be fair. Sorry if you're watching.
The podcast.
I was a proper EDM head and went to Nation, and like I was getting in love with dance music and that type of venue. It was so good. I remember Sonny James and Ryan Marciano being on like room 3.
Oh yeah,
it was so good.
Was you there? Was you?
Probably was.
Probably.
Sick,
The
that.
Casimir next door to the Nation.
Oh, I remember that night,
One of
yeah.
my favourite venues.
The
that.
Cashmere's
Unbelievable.
unbelievable. The way it went up and round, like
Unbelievable
sick,
venue.
I never went there.
And it's like, I'd
Yeah.
like to think, for example, my brother's 10 years older than me. I'd like in 10 years' time for there to be a venue like Constellations, for example, Meraki, stuff like that, where people like.
I think there always
Foster's.
will be though.
Yeah, there will be, but there'll be
there's-
new places open. Why not? Why don't we have any places where
And keep hold of them.
keep all of them and go, you know what, this has got history.
That's why
this
people
is-
like to come round here. Let's invest in
Yeah,
this.
let's let's do something new. Let's do something new. But at the same time, it's nice to have a club and venue which has got history and got tradition going.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
bigs, the greats, everything is stemmed from this place.
People
You know what I
like
mean?
to branch out from like the usual town, don't they? In the
Yeah.
Concert Square. And
Like
the,
when
and
we
the
started
back
going
road.
out, I remember he took me down Jamaica Street and I was like,
Yeah.
never been here in my life, lad.
Yeah.
And then now it's just like the place to go. you know,
Yeah,
so-
yeah, yeah.
And that's only like 7-8 years, you know what I mean?
I think it's developed quick, hasn't it?
Yeah,
Developed.
rapid, yeah.
It feels like though we're running out of new places to go
Yeah.
though. Like,
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
going to have nowhere to
When
dance soon. We're
When
literally going to have
about
nowhere
the
to
triangle's
dance.
gone, we've got 10 Streets, which is up and coming now. But when 10 Streets goes, which we can't guarantee it's not going to go,
Yeah.
where do we go then? Where's the warehouses from there?
They'll end up going up the docks. Keep
Go
going
Branley
up
Moor.
further and further.
What's going to happen
Not
is, I
even in
reckon,
town.
Baltic will build up residential. They'll end up getting a train station
And then
and
it'll go
stuff
the
like
other
that.
side of town.
And they'll
then,
start to get
But the
into stuff.
residential's starting already then.
That's what I mean. It's starting, but it'll be a stage where it'll be like it's going to build up that
Time
much.
take
People
over
want to
type
live there.
thing.
It'll take over.
Yeah.
They'll move to Branley Moor around that area
Do
because
you not reckon there'll always be clubs and shops there now?
yeah, they probably will. They probably will. But I'm saying the places are going to shut as a result of this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It
And it
definitely
happens
changed things for
everywhere.
venues anyway.
But
Yeah.
the Camp and Furnace is what started that whole boom there,
Yeah.
isn't it? Like
That
when
was
that
one of the
opened.
first to be
Yeah.
there, like,
I don't
yeah.
reckon that'll ever go like, that's too big, isn't it? Or
You got like Constellations, one of the ones
No,
that
to
was
be
one of the
honest with you.
first there as well, and that's struggling. I think that might be closing.
I think
soon
it was
as
meant
well,
to be,
or-
and
They've
you're
said
meant to
they've
be
been closing for a while.
Yeah, I
haven't
think-
they? it is happening, but
It's
it
obviously a
just
struggle.
like
though,
kitchen
it's just-
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
something
the same
must
with
be
Kitchen
done.
Street. There's
Something
always a
getting
safe
built
kitchen
behind
scene.
it.
isn't there?
Yeah.
Something getting built behind it.
I think it's going to be a stage where like a lot of clubs there'll be new places opening where like North Shore is and Meraki, they're the first two. There'll be new places, and eventually when that gets built up, because Everton Stadium's going to be there, it's going to get to a stage where it's going to be residential again, and it's going to be
But then where'd you go?
the property
No.
man's
That's
going
what
to.
I mean,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
The prop. Billy, the
That's
property
funny,
man who's
isn't it?
buying property, is going to have more of a say. Do you know what I mean? Than like
Yeah.
than what we're going to say. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For example,
I know
but
what you mean, like.
it's a shame, really. But what would you say is your favourite venue? You'd say in Liverpool you've been to?
It's a hard question.
hard
That.
one,
There's a lot of venues to be
I
honest.
love
The
Nation.
bombed
I
house-
did
the
love
bombed house
Nation.
is up there,
The
isn't it?
bombed out is the bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, the bomb.
Yeah.
down.
That was my
That
best
was
event
nice,
in Liverpool.
wasn't it?
Have you played in the bombed out?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like a
Have you?
van.
No
Was it
way.
Belter?
That was what last
Was
summer.
it a Vans? Yeah, there was a Vans event. He had like a half pipe in there and all
That's
that.
sick, that.
Yeah.
That's about to that.
Jeff Rowley from Liverpool. Skateboarder, big, like
Yeah.
massive, famous fella.
It's hard to
But,
see the
um,
bombed out as a venue though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Until you go into it, you don't understand that it's actually a venue as well, innit?
Yeah.
That cellar was good when we went there. That was a bit random, wasn't it?
Where
The
was
one under
that?
the uni.
Oh, when you played that night,
and
yeah.
it was just like a brick.
In the Williamson
Brickwork.
tunnels.
Oh,
It
that
was
is
like-
I've never
like
been to
that.
tunnels, you know. I've
It
still
looks
never
like
been.
that.
haven't you?
I was
I've
meant to
never
be
been
going
to
for James
Williamson.
Abelia in May. Was it May? I think it was May. And obviously it's been scheduled to
cancelled
next May now,
off,
so I've
yeah.
got to wait till then.
No, it was good.
The bombed out probably that, yeah. So was used like, so not where you can see it from Berry Street, was the stage at the other end, like the back end, because that's where it was when I seen
Yeah,
Solomon.
it was like in the sort of like.
So we use facing
The
towards
Bell Tower.
Harmon rather than towards Berry.
Which
Yeah.
is inside the church.
No, we were facing like. No, we weren't inside the
Were you
church,
facing
we were
both? Street? Was you
we were
looking down?
outside,
But we were
Oh, when you're not in it? No,
outside
yeah.
the church,
outside,
yeah.
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
bust them.
Now Solomon was inside. Did you go Solomon? The
No.
bombed out church.
But no, we played there.
We
as
had
That's
the-
well.
probably
yeah.
the best,
We
my
had the
best
belter
event.
on that, yeah.
That's probably
On the
my best
hay
night.
Got on Solomon's video, me and him, that's just giving it biff. Like,
There was like a random haystack on the front, wasn't
yeah,
it?
just ran to one.
Two of us just stood on here and one giving it.
Giving it out, it was sick.
That's probably my favourite night, but I struggle to see the bombed out as a venue. So
Yeah,
in terms of
yeah,
venues,
yeah.
I'd probably say the Casimir was one of
Lads,
my favourite
yeah,
venues.
definitely.
But that was probably one of my
The thing I've got a
favourite
lot,
nights
I've
as well.
got so much love for and so much admiration. I just love it. East Village Arts Club or the Mask, if you want to call it
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's the reason.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
reason
Yeah.
why all of us are into the music
Yeah.
and into
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
house.
Yeah, it was
and
Is it why you
everything.
used
Yeah,
to
to be honest, that
start
was
to
like like one of the first venues I'd been to for like the type of music.
Yeah.
that
It was the
was in.
same for me. I
What was your way when you
Circus
first-
was my
Yeah, it
first
was.
one.
It was circus. It was a circus.
Dead
This
intimate
one
in it, do you know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
so hot.
Even
I
so
love
hot.
looking over, you know, where you'd look over on that top balcony.
like half
I
up the
just loved
stairs.
sitting on
Little
that.
break.
Yeah.
You sweat to them afterwards. Brilliant. experience.
We used to
Had
know.
more of a bevy than when you come down.
The first time I walked into
like
there, lads, I was like 16, I think. I remember just hearing it, and I was like, oh, it sounds heavy in there. As soon as I got in, I was like, what is this? This is it for life now.
We said that, didn't we, when I was saying to you about that music, about how you need to...
Yeah, it's like,
go
once
to
you've experienced
experience
this, you'll
yeah.
get it. And at
'Cause-
16, that's our kid's idea. I was like,
Yeah.
I wonder what Nathan's actually on about here.
Is it
Sound system, isn't it?
Yeah.
Listening to like tech house and techno on a phone or your laptop or whatever, you could never understand what it was.
Yeah, you don't feel it as much, do you know what I mean? You don't feel
when
it.
you're
Not
when
kind of
all your mates are into EDM and that, you just level with them. But
Yeah.
Because I was a year ahead of you, I just must have been a year ahead on
Yeah.
the music.
No, you was. I remember
Yeah.
going to EDC, lad, Avicii, R.I.P. And I was like, oh, I can't wait to get to this tech event. He's like, that's not tech, you know, lad. I was like, sick. I was younger, lad. I was young.
Yeah.
And then
Pub.
proper young pub, lad, yeah. And then when I went out like that winter, I think, I remember thinking like, I'm not going back into
Pan
that.
pop, weren't it, lads?
Yeah, pan pot, lad, yeah.
Oh.
Halloween, the clocks went back, got an extra hour.
Yeah.
It was a
Lovely
serious
that.
night.
Oh,
though.
it was
It
a
was
awesome when we
yeah.
spoke about that one.
Yeah, we're like, lad, it's 3 o'clock. It's actually.
Do you
2.
remember the first like sort of tech house venue event you went to? Do you remember what it was?
I remember one of them.
Garnier.
I've got one to start off that. She's very good one.
Lauren Garnier in Circus.
Yeah.
And he'd done a live set. And upstairs was hot since '82. That's how old it was. That he
Yeah.
was playing upstairs in the little
Lad,
room.
I've seen a circus lineup with Calvin Harris on the lineup with Joris Vaughan.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Mad,
2012, I think it was. Do you know,
Mad.
before he like went
Yeah.
away, he was like, he used to play underground as Calvin
Yeah,
Harris.
yeah.
And then I think I might be dreaming. Someone will probably call me out like that doesn't exist.
Yeah,
But I've definitely seen a
I feel like
lineup.
that was a lie, but I'll roll with it.
No, I've definitely seen a lineup in Liverpool
Yeah,
with
yeah,
Calvin
yeah.
Harris and Joris Vaughan.
I remember
Can we check facts on the way? Or?
Right, just pause it a second.
Thought he's on Bro Rogan then.
Jamie, can you pull that up?
I remember one. It was Adam Bayer was on actually. It was Adam Bayer, James Abelia.
That was your first too.
A Hot Since '82 was on the circus.
That's the
I remember Adam Bayer being on going, what is this noise?
What is
That was my first one as well.
I know,
I was
yeah.
absolutely blown away by Adam Bayer. Like,
Yeah.
wow, did it like that before?
Yeah, and it was proper
Do you know one of my first?
grooving techno.
My first ones I had where I was like, there's something different here. It was Loco Dice the day after Boxing Day in Circus.
Yeah.
And he's different, isn't he? Just the way he is. And I remember listening to him thinking, there's something more to this than just dun dun
Yeah.
dun.
Yeah.
And then that's what kind of steered me away from just heavy beats.
My
do you know what I
favourite
mean?
circus has to be the Jackmaster New Year's Day.
Oh,
God.
lad.
Unbelievable.
It was
mate.
amazing. I remember we
It
had.
was Josh Wink before that in 3 beats. So
Yeah.
That's heavy,
So
that.
we went. Josh Wink was on in 3B doing little
so
sets,
good,
and he was
that.
so
Got a selfie
sound.
with
He
him,
was
didn't
so
we?
sound.
So
He
sound,
was. He was literally mixing, going like, "How are you boys?"
Yeah.
Let's all bring us in and go, he's having a good night. Just focus on your mixing. And he was like, no, do you want it? He was sick,
Did
wasn't
you
he?
just go to the Palm House when he was on there?
I didn't
Yeah.
know.
Jackmaster?
I've never-
I was
yeah.
No, Josh Wink.
Was that a circus, was it?
Yeah,
Was that a circus?
No way.
Yeah, that was heavy.
I went to the Palm House, and it was circus. It was Dennis Ferreira finished. It was Rebook and Lewis Boardman and Yusuf, obviously, but it was amazing. It was so
I've only
good.
been to the Palm House one once, but that's what it was. Josh Wink.
I think that's probably up there one day.
Didn't we go to Cat Eats Dogs there as well?
I think that was the same night.
Was that the same night? Yeah.
Jonesy went to a boiler room there, you know.
You
The
just see him in the
circus
back, like,
boiler room.
Yeah, Glass and that
Oh,
were
yeah.
playing on it, weren't they?
The what?
That David Glass and that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Yusuf's boiler room, wasn't it?
Yusuf's boiler. Yusuf got
think
a
it
boiler
was,
room
yeah.
for
Lewis
circus,
Boardman.
The
Yeah.
maddest one I'd done, and I was just thinking about it before when you asked us, was the first Camp and Furnace one I went to, and it was 2013, and the side room was Bicep, Martinez Brothers, and My Jane Cole. I think that was like 2013 or something, and it was unbelievable. But you got the main 2 rooms, the camp, the furnace, haven't you?
Yeah.
And then down the very end, you'd walk past the bogs where the bogs are now. They have a little room there, and then
Yeah.
3 were on in there. It's
But I went to Lem Faki was on upstairs in Camp and Furnace. I'd
I've
never been in
been
the room ever.
Was that Wax?
Upstairs.
I don't know who it was.
I know
It
what you're on about.
It's like
I
a
always
meat,
get
it used to be
lost
called,
in
it used to be a meat hanging room or something. I think it's called something like an abattoir or it's called something mad.
It was open in the disco festival once, so it was like a cloakroom.
I don't know what it's called. It's
So,
called.
It's got it's like the camp, the
something
furnace and the
factory or
something
like
else. Yeah, the
something-
meat factory I think it is.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I always used to go there on the way to the bog. I'd somehow get lost and be like, oh, where am I here? But yeah, it was a mad little room that way, innit?
Speaking of, sorry to interrupt, the event in Liverpool, Disco Fest, lads, we went to the first one, didn't we? Was you there? Did you just go?
I think I've still never done a disco
Haven't you?
fest.
That's what
so
got
good.
me into
The
it, lad.
yeah,
The
the
first
first
one.
disco festival was
lads,
so good.
it was all
The
over the
vibe,
Baltic.
weren't it?
It was in Constellations. They had a roller rink in where Peach used to be.
Oh,
Kanga 34. They had like the gin garden, the one next to and them two warehouses, didn't they? The Baltic, what's it called? The big Baltic warehouse. It might be, I don't know. But it was heavy, wasn't it?
They had so much of the Baltic Triangle as well that time.
Yeah,
So many
it was
more
like a festival,
venues.
wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was on that? Who
I-
finished?
I like
Dimitris
it
from
From
Paris.
Paris.
The thing I liked about the disco festival I went, I was like, we were going to events which was like circus and whatever it was, and it was usually people our age going, like we were younger,
Yeah,
coming into our
demographic,
20s, do you know what I mean? And like, you go to the disco fest, and it was like,
See you, man.
yeah, you'd see your man,
Crowd
your
was so
auntie, do you know what I mean? It was like the
Yeah.
crowd was
Yeah.
like,
Into music,
yeah,
not just into
music,
going out
do you know what I mean?
together.
Into
Yeah.
going out and having a drink. It was more into the music and into the vibe and having a good time, do you know what I mean?
That's what Crackle was like, though, as well.
Yeah,
Everyone
it
was like
was,
there
yeah.
for the music.
That's
yeah.
why we loved it though, wasn't it? Because it was
Yeah.
just a boss vibe.
Everyone was on there, weren't
Yeah.
you? All everyone, you know, everyone, as you
Yeah.
say, everyone got on. There was no like.
I went
It
to
was like
fucking
a-
you're playing meter at the Love Parade when I come back.
Oh, I missed it.
The bubbles come out.
DJ Jesus was on then.
That was like the first time that our group of mates met, though, really, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Was that
Yeah,
Crackle?
that's it,
Yeah.
It's a good
Well,
place.
it's good as well when you're doing something
Meeting the
together.
families.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah, bringing like your mates together, and you think it was such a good celebration of music in general and just like you and what you're doing. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
It was sick, lad.
It's hard to explain if you've not been though, isn't it? But
Yeah.
it was just everyone was just on a boss level and you didn't want it to end.
Yeah.
Like a lot of events, you're like,
It's half two, you know.
yeah,
Like,
let's go to the next party.
Yeah.
But I went
I
even
think
asked
it
about
flew,
an after
didn't
party,
It
which
went far too quick, yeah.
Yeah, it was like.
Time flies
You
when
know,
you're having
it's
fun.
4
It's the
o'clock
old
there,
cliche
yeah.
states.
It does that,
Yeah.
It was sick, though. So when's the next one? What have you got in the pipeline going forward? Or is it hard because of all this?
It's quite hard to be honest. It's hard to get stuff properly confirmed or like proper. I don't know, because it's still not completely back to normal. Do you know what I mean? So I think everyone's still a little bit cautious. Some people, and I think like venues in general aren't fully back up to. Well, obviously not fully back up to how they were because a lot of it's sit down and
challenges,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
do you know if anyone's taken like future bookings? Like, has people already started
I think.
booking
Well, I seen
ahead?
you in Kitchen Street last week and they're playing.
Well, yeah,
like,
stuff is going on, but I mean, I don't think in terms of like a full
Planning.
Yeah,
They
do you know what I
can't- they
mean?
can't-
Yeah, I'm not
proper
sure if
event,
it's just like the venues organising like
That's what it seems to be,
parties to come
doesn't
to
it?
the venues
Yeah.
because that's how it
okay.
works.
That's
With
what
us and
Meraki was
Meraki, and the
with
last
us,
time
yeah.
it wasn't us
Planning
planning
a
the
night.
party.
Yeah.
So I
Meraki
think
planned the party
doing
and
it for them.
well, you can't
we
legally
were
have a
the
dance
music.
floor, can you? Like at the
No.
minute.
Well, no, that's it,
That's
isn't it?
mad.
So,
I think it'll start to ease up now, like the music, the sound restrictions have eased up, so
Yeah, well, I played sound about 2 weeks ago, one of the bars, and he come in and it was like setting a few rules, and he was like, if you can hear people talking, that's loud enough.
Yeah.
It was like nothing above
oh
that.
yeah, that's what it was like.
That's what Meraki
Yeah,
It was
it was
like-
like you can't encourage anyone to dance, stand up. He went, don't play any big tunes either. He was just like,
Don't have
like,
fun, basically.
play
Yeah.
elevator music or something in the background. I didn't really know what to do, but he was like, there's people coming in and out of bars who are checking, and if the inspectors don't like the volume, they can shut you down basically. I didn't even know that.
yeah, that's why it was so low in Meraki as well, but I think that's eased up
Big
now.
Brother is watching you, isn't he?
Yeah, they are, lad, they are.
It was good though, as I say with Monachis, if you'd be bored, it was nice just to have a little boogie again.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And
it's the
see
first
people.
venue that I've had, isn't it?
And like
Since
little, yeah.
lockdown.
I weren't man, unfortunately. I'd like to say it was man.
It was a good day though, like weather-wise as well, weren't it?
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
lucky because I think the
Yeah.
weather hadn't been that great all week either, and then on the Saturday we were like, no, what is
Especially
this
for an
on
outdoor, I think, the
We
week
had the
before.
famous Wacko after party.
Yeah. The L5 Festival. That's what he's branded it as, L5 Fest.
Yeah.
And I put on, we put on the story, what's the best venue been to, or the best event, we'll go through it, and I was flicking through the answers before I went into logged in, and he put L5 Fest.
To be fair, the walk-ins do know what to
Well,
throw
they
party.
know all the party, lads. And you're there twice a week, once for the Reds on the weekend, and then on the midweek, and then there on the weekend for the lads. They can party, mate. Have you ever been to an L5 Fest?
Yeah, but I done a sober one because I think I was DJing. And
Yeah, I
come
remember
after
it, actually.
DJing and showed
I think
up.
I was on and you were like,
Yeah.
I'm off, mate.
Send me back out the door, lad.
Yeah. You can stay all night there, can't you?
Like, talk about DJing as well, obviously, in general. Is there any venues that you'd love to play in Liverpool where you're like, if Crackle done an event, you're like, doesn't matter about the people, is there any where you think, I've got aspirations, I want to play there, do you know what I mean?
Quite a few.
Or you'd like to host an event.
Yeah, you'd like to, do you know what I mean? Is there anywhere where you're like...
I'd love to host an event in Invisible Win Factory.
Yeah, I was going to say, that'd be good in terms of a big one, do you know what I mean?
That's a big
obviously, that's a big one, I'm not saying.
It holds a lot of
next
people.
one,
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
yeah, not the next one, like, but...
Oh, for that type, as I was saying before... Like,
you just could defo hold it. Sorry to interrupt. The defo could.
It's a big venue, it's 2 rooms.
It's
You know what the cap is, isn't it?
800, I think.
Is it 800?
Yeah. You can just
You can do the downstairs, I think, which is 300.
Oh, yeah, there's a downstairs.
Did you just go in that downstairs room in Laces and they had the lights and the smoke and that? Did you ever go down there?
Yeah, it's been like that some nights as well.
It's
mad to go down there and you're like, whoa.
And you go in, you're like, wow.
Yeah, they had like neon things on the floor and like the smoke was in your face and the webs were in the middle, but you couldn't see the webs. I couldn't imagine that on a night out, like trying to find your boys. Belt,
I think Camera Furnace, I'd love to play in that meeting.
Yeah.
Like, to a full crowd.
Yeah, that would be great, that.
Yeah.
What about you? Would you say Invisible Win Factory as well?
Yeah, I'd probably say the same, maybe.
Yeah.
In terms of a big one, do you know what I mean?
Gonna have to say Invisible Camp and Fairness would be on the
Oh, yeah, Camp and Fairness.
The Art Club as well has got to be up there.
Yeah. I think, I get
was looking forward for North Shore Troubadour to play in there because I've heard how good the sound system is.
It's a great little venue as well.
Yeah, so I can't wait for when we get one back booked in with them, because that's where the March one was meant to be, was in North Shore.
Are you going to keep the same lineup for March, or...?
Well, we had Josh on the last one. He was on the March lineup. Josh played in Meraki. And we had Pad on, didn't we, as well? So we probably will. We'll probably get them both back on in some time in the future anyway.
And Adrian as well.
Yeah,
when he comes back.
Adrian as well, once it all uses up, yeah.
So is he from Barcelona, is he?
Yeah.
What's the DJ name? Is it...
Again,
like
just
skating?
going over to
Trian.
We just like... I think it's like... So the older skateboarders knew him, and then they got introduced to like him, and then him, and then him, and then it was us. It was mad.
Yeah.
Like a
And then
proper
he's just
chain.
But he's from Barcelona.
Yeah, nah, he's
from
from the Netherlands, lived in London, and now lives in Barca.
That, do you know what I was going to say earlier, by the way? Skating, it's like one big family,
I
innit?
love the
Like,
community.
there's no age limit. There's like, you see people,
everyone's just
like,
out
they'll
there.
see a 40-year-old, like, oh, we used to skate, and like, that's mad. Like, it's a community, innit, skating?
Yeah,
Proper community though.
Can we just say something? Jack
used to
Jack
skate,
used to
didn't
tell me for skating in school.
I never used to tell you. What it was, right?
You couldn't kickflip, lad, you couldn't kickflip, that was what it was.
I never used to
I
tell
never
him.
touched the board since that.
No, I never tell him. I found out he skated, and I tell him because he never said anything.
He's back. Sorry, Ted. I know he's inviting you in here. To tell you.
Used to skate, did you? No, no. What if I seen an old picture of him on Facebook doing a kickflip? And I was like, did you use the skate? And he's like, yeah. And I never knew. And I was like, why didn't you say anything, lad? And I've never. He reckons he was, but he's got his wires crossed. I never tell you, lad.
Let's just wait outside. Punches.
It's another off-camera one, this, isn't it? Nathan will do him after this, lads.
3 balls just over.
But are you still skaters? Do you still skate now? Do you?
To be honest, no, I don't skate that much anymore. You skate?
I
like,
do,
you're
yeah. I'm
pretty
still skating
consistent,
all the
aren't you?
time.
So I would explain skating then, because I used to have a mate. Roll on the board. I know what you mean, but like, so would you? I used to have a mate who'd go to town and skate by the Tesco or skate up here. Or do you still do that, or do you go to a skate park?
Yeah,
and
I do both. Like I go to skate parks and that, but then
You chill in the courts mainly, don't you?
So do you go like wild skating or like?
pretty much, yeah. There's like street skating. It's like its own thing within skateboarding as well. It's
so-
like like a subgenre, same thing.
Yeah.
Same aspect.
Is it like a different culture completely as well?
Yeah, completely different to like skate
like
park
the
culture
opposite.
and
Mad
stuff
that,
like
innit?
that. The
Do you ever go to skate park?
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes.
So what is the main...
So there's no beef between the two of them, like.
You're a street skateboarder, you bro.
It's the scooters that you have beef with, innit?
All the lads Rampworks used to be the BMXers and the skaters. They'd have murder and them too, wouldn't they?
The rollerbladers would just be in between.
J-Mac just doing cartwheels.
Did you used to rollerblade, did you, yeah?
Yeah, nah, I didn't, lad. I don't know where this come from. The thing he's trying to terror us for.
He's still got them.
You're a bully, Jack.
If you've got a talent Jack bully,
Nah, what it is, I don't think I've told
Jack
you
doesn't
this.
like the sport.
I don't like anyone with wheels on it. Nah.
And that's why you cartwheel everywhere, is it?
That's why I cartwheel everywhere, yeah.
So yeah, one thing we wanted to do today is go through. We go to the Instagram every week and we ask people to get involved to see what we can ask yourself. So Jack, take it away, sunshine. Show us what we're working with.
So, bear with me. I'm just trying to find that old picture of Nathan's skateboard.
I'm gonna. On that.
Do you know what? When we did the first one,
He deleted it after your horrible comments.
Don't stab me memory as well.
You
Jack's
brought
got
it
a
up.
hard job, innit?
Lads, when we were talking about events though, because we didn't meet at Circus, but like that's where like we re-met,
Yeah.
if you want to say that. Nathan found it. We were talking about what was it? Strings of Life. Nick Fanciulli?
Yeah, it was Nick Fanciulli playing.
Wait,
it.
Strings of Life, yeah.
That was a good circus.
That was unbelievable, that circus. But then, lad, it come out and the next day he sent us the video, like, found it, just went into the archives on Facebook.
Yeah, I reminisce a lot about that night.
Dude. Good night. So, we're going to be discussing our best gig/concert/rave we have attended in Liverpool. What's yours? Have we said ours, by the way? Mine was the Bombed Out Solomon. What was yours?
Yeah, what was the best
honest,
event you've been to?
There's a few for me.
We can only have one.
One that hasn't been...
No, there is loads, isn't there?
You know what? I think Jeff Mills and Invisible Wind.
I remember we seen Jeff Mills in the Dam.
You know, Jeff Mills in the Dam, one of my favourites.
Really, yeah.
Yeah, we walked in, got the last half an hour, just like, what is this?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Do you know what else is a good one now, which you might think's a bit, well, not might think's mad, but Mr. Scruff in a Merchant, because the Merchant usually isn't like a... I've never seen it like it was on that night. So on that night, he'd pushed all the tables were gone and all.
Like a venue, yeah.
It'd be
all
so
the
good if the
tables were
Merchant
gone.
was like that every Saturday.
Yeah.
Have you seen
Just
Crazy
the end
P
of
in
the
there?
setup.
We
Did
seen
you,
Crazy
yeah?
P, was you there? On
The
like a
Merchant
party?
did the benches every Saturday and had a party.
Yeah,
at the
sick.
top.
do.
You go, well.
That was what's that Mr. Scruff night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Would you say that was your best one?
It's one of, it's one of on my birthday, that.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. Yeah, I forgot about
Card
that.
surfing, yeah? Whoa!
On your skateboard.
Big night then, yeah? Kick flipper in the
skateboard. What about you? What was yours?
I'd probably say Solomon in the Bombed Out, because it's been said. I'd say AME in the Cashmere.
Yeah, that's close second for me. Like,
unbelievable.
the only reason the Bomb that was good for me is because I was sober the whole day, because I was starting a job the next day and it was still that good. Do you know what I mean?
Bossed up.
Yeah, it's sick.
I think I was sober because I was playing after this, so I didn't.
I seen your dance moves on them hay bells. You kind of been sober.
That is sober, sadly.
You was playing after it, weren't you?
Yeah. I think mine was probably Corolla at
Oh,
Asylum.
lad, forgot about that.
Like,
Yeah, that was. I said that as well.
I've never seen Corolla till then.
It was like an extended set. He's done like 5 hours. I was like,
the only
how's he doing it for 5 hours?
5 hour set, yeah.
I think it was a 5 hour set.
Yeah.
He only likes to do long, doesn't he?
No, he
Like,
can't. He
likes
can't do an hour set.
Yeah.
Corolla, can
Who
he?
else was on?
Like
Sven Bath was on, yeah.
No, that was a
second
second
of the year. That
Sven
was-
Bath was
was
the
before.
first one. There was no tent or not.
Yeah, and he closed as well. Sven Bath
that.
didn't close,
Yeah,
did he?
Sven
And
Bath didn't.
It was pop off when it after Sven
Yeah,
Bath.
after it
you
was
can't follow Sven
terrible.
Bath.
Nah, no one follows Sven
You
Bath.
can't
does he?
follow Sven Bath.
I didn't like his set anyway, though. For Sven
It's the
Bath.
time. It was the
I
time.
liked
Yeah.
it. Boss, and then we played Lost Boys by Bart Skills. Oh my
He played that
God.
tuning on it, like the porno one, and it had my head up
Yeah.
the wall.
Oh,
French Kiss by Little Louis.
He always plays
Lads, and I was
French
just,
Kiss
that was
with
I've
a
heard it
tune.
loads.
amazing. I love that tune.
Well, I was
So
just
good.
thinking,
That mix in, it just goes dead slow. It gets
what's going on
Should
instead?
definitely-
No, but I was thinking, like, has he meant to have played this? You know, is his phone on
Yeah.
here? Or something, you know? Yeah, that was like, shit. Yeah, I was like, what's it
like that story where he got in the car with that fella and connected his phone to the Bluetooth.
I can't be telling that. Fucking I'll tell it. So in my old job, right, I used to work in a popular car rental company. Don't say the name.
No names.
And no names, yeah. Could be any one of them. Any one of the one. But I was showing this fella around the car and his phone. And his phone was, he was like, no, he returned the car, sorry, and I was checking around it. And then, no, he asked me to pair his phone up, sorry. He asked me to pair his phone up and I paired it. And it said, like, I had a Samsung and he had an iPhone. And it said, Joe Blogg's iPhone, yeah, do you know what I mean? And then, like, on the screen, it was coming up with what he was watching. And he was watching something X-rated, though. And he was like, what's that? Started pressing. Like, he was like, no, lad. He was like,
You've probably done that before.
he was like, that's not my phone. And I just went, you've got a Samsung, I've got an iPhone, or whatever. And I went, that's definitely not mine. Just went, see you later, mate, shut the door. And he was gutted, lad. He was gutted. He just popped up on the table. I can't tell you.
Tell me off here. Do you know what? I was thinking, I proper started to think about the best venue or best event I've been to, and I was proper thinking about it loads.
So hard, isn't it?
It's
so
hard. Like,
hard.
it is hard.
But I think honourable mentions Corolla. But as I was saying, Len Fachie upstairs there was the first introduction I had to, like, what I'd say underground.
Pound and techno.
Well, even the fact it was techno, but it was an underground type of night.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was dark.
Gritty.
It was gritty. It weren't like.
Moo used to do belters.
Yeah. It was like it was.
Gary Beck every line.
Oh,
Have a
Gary Beck.
reunion?
No one ever.
Gary Beck used to kill it, didn't he?
Gary Beck. I love Gary Beck.
Yeah,
I remember I
So
seen
good, Gary
all the
Beck.
boys went to Kneefield with
Pam
me.
Pot Moo Moo was so good.
But every single one of my mates went to Kneefield to me and Jones. They were like, we're going to see Pam Pot in Moo Moo. Lad got in, no ID, like 17. It was sick. Just walked in Constellations. One of the best nights I've had.
They've never done a bad set.
Lad, they're so happy together, aren't they?
Yeah,
Like, they just have a laugh, don't they? I remember
I
thinking,
haven't
like,
seen them for a while.
I haven't either.
I don't think I've ever seen him, to be honest.
Haven't you? The boys.
I've seen
I've
them.
seen them. I seen him wear.
But I've seen him at
He was
Glasgow.
like.
It was on
Like
that
European
arcade.
You want a Glasgow, yeah?
Yeah.
Played on a spars, you know, the arcade as well.
Yeah, that would have been great. That,
And I think it was one of the first nights that we got, like, the Thursday or the Friday, so it was like...
Yeah,
it's all
easy.
really
I was
laugh
like,
now.
how about buzzing? What's the Instagram saying?
So first one here, the Cheap Thrills at Studio 2.
I think of that, but the Cheap Thrills in Academy 2, that was amazing. That.
Is that not what? Oh no,
That was in Parsty.
yeah.
Basically, that
was Parsty Studio 2, but in
Did
the
the
Academy
Arts
2.
Club thing get rescheduled?
But it's meant to be October, isn't it?
They don't know what's going on now because no one knows what's going on. So it's meant to be October. I think they announced back in April, but who knows what's going on. But lads, they're unbelievable live, you know. Sick, they're sick.
Give them a listen if you haven't already.
Solomon bombed out church.
Yeah.
What a do.
Honourable mention for that.
Ben Clough in Wax.
Yeah, that was about...
Oh, Ben Clough.
Yeah.
Ben Clough was underground. Remember underground? It went the best of venues,
Oh,
but
that
Ben
was...
Clough was
wasn't that the
amazing.
old
Garlands with the old Garlands,
Yeah,
weren't it?
yeah, I seen him there as well, actually. I forgot about that. That was boss, that.
That was a great night, that. Superb night.
Mad. We've probably been in a few events
I
together.
thought Underground
but,
was
to be
tough.
honest.
Me at the front,
Underground,
right near the
I know,
base.
Wrong place, wrong part of town though, innit? Like for a venue
It
like
is,
that. you know?
it is the wrong part of town for the type of music and events they were pulling in, but
Yeah.
they got some big lineups.
They had
though.
Solomon, didn't
They
he?
had
in
Todd
there?
Tage on in there
Todd
as well.
Tage
That
as
would have
well,
been
yeah.
unbelievable, Todd Tage.
He was on in when Solomon done the bombed out, he done the bombed out as well.
Yeah, he
at
did
similar
do the
time.
Bombed Out, yeah.
Didn't go to Ada.
I didn't even really know him then.
Oh, he's amazing.
This is a big one, this.
Which?
Paul McCartney at the Cavern. Don't know if I've mentioned it to you before. I know
exactly
it is.
who that
I know
was.
who that is.
Yeah.
Still hate him for that. Still hate him for that.
I know that. Could have got me a ticket.
I remember after he was like, just went to see, just being there, and I went, what was it like? He was like, lads, can I message you tomorrow? I'm still in a bit of awe of it. He went, didn't message me the next day. He did.
Modular with Nicholas Lutz at 24 Kitchen Street. Brackets big party. Don't know, I went there. It
That was a good one.
sounds like a Modular's a good night.
Modular's
Modular's an
I've
unbelievable
seen
night.
Teeny at Modulars.
Yeah.
Remember that Rubik's Halloween that we was at in
That's why I meant to
District?
use.
Oh,
Yeah,
Lads
yeah.
District,
Renzo was on.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
Renzo was
sick,
on, yeah.
lad. That was a
That was a
sick
boss
night,
night,
that. Yeah. Wow, lad, that was a
boss.
belt to that, yeah. Red Rum Club, hands down.
Where was that?
Yeah.
Doesn't say that.
The
but
O2 probably. I think he
I
played
can
the
imagine
O2
it'd be
Academy.
decent.
I
Jungle.
seen them in the Baltic Market. They were good in there as well.
Did you?
Yeah.
Were they on in the
They were
Baltic
on the
Market?
Baltic Market.
They
Yeah.
did it around Christmas, weren't it?
Lad, do you know who's sick in the Baltic Market?
Yeah, it might have been, yeah.
Have you ever seen them? They're called Ukebox. If you're on them, they play on a Sunday. There's like 4 of them. They look like the Beatles with ukuleles.
I've seen pictures of them
But
actually.
they're sick. They play like disco, but like on a ukulele. It's the sick.
You know what? One of my favourites, like sort of like, it's. So have you been to Sound City?
No.
It's
I have been,
so
but I haven't
good.
been when it's been on, because it went to like Bramley Moor, didn't it? Something.
Yeah, there's done
Yeah,
one there.
it did, yeah.
I think there's
I've
done one
been
there
to,
with
like-
Metronomy. But recently I've been to the last 2. And it was on in like round the Baltic. They done one an outdoor stage and then the other one they done Camp and Furnace. And there's a band called, I went to Baltic purely by mistake, and there was a band who we really, really like now, and they're getting quite big, called Monks. And it was the first gig they ever played. There was about 15 people there, and it was unbelievable. It was
Just
so
them
good.
gigs like that though, lads.
No,
They're
they were so
about around
good.
it.
But, yeah, probably Sound City, you seen a band called Magic Gang? Oh, they
Sick,
were
sick as well.
amazing. And have you heard The Confidence, man?
Oh, you love them. You know,
Oh,
they're like
you
a
love
band.
Confidence, man.
It's like 3 of them. One of them dances, don't he?
It's like a bird, it's a lad and a bird, and then they have...
Scousers.
Nah,
No,
they're from
they're
Australia,
like Aussies. Everyone's from Australia who's good.
We'll show you them after this. They're
Yeah,
unbelievable.
they're so
you know.
good. Give them a listen.
You wouldn't think they were like, you'd think they produce music electronically, do you know what I mean? Like they do, but like they're a band, aren't they?
It's like one's on like sort of, I think he's on like
I don't know
one's
what
on the
they do.
drums, the other one's doing something, I don't know. I weren't paying much attention,
Yeah,
and the
I
other
don't know
ones,
what they're doing either.
two of them are singing.
Was you there for that night?
Me, not. I've seen the videos, mate. I've seen like live performances on YouTube. That's all he watches in is that you go in. He's got YouTube on for laughs. Jungle in the Invisible Wind Factory. That'd be heavy.
That'd be boss.
A heavy night. Marco Crayola in the Asylum. And where's another one? Solomon Bombed Out Church, probably the best day out I've ever had.
Everyone's keen on that.
I think we're going to have to go with that one. It's the best night.
Do you know what was so good about it? I remember before he come on when Stimmen was on and we were all talking like, what do you reckon he'll play at the end? And someone, it might have even been you that said it's like Falls Late Night.
Yeah,
You'll
I think
close
it
on
did.
Falls Late Night.
Yeah.
It'd be heavy if he
It's what you
closes
want,
on
that,
Falls
innit?
Late Night.
And he did.
And he only closed on Falls Late Night.
Sick. I've still got the video somewhere. I'll find it later when I try and find that picture.
Been looking for a long time, lad.
So, going on, obviously what we're looking to do is talk about the mixes before. The mixes you're going to do, is there any sort of vibe you want to go for? Do you want to just show what you're about?
In terms of
The Minerva
individual.
melodies,
The
this is.
Minerva melodies, yeah.
Oh,
So like, let's say you do one together as like Lost Art
Yeah.
Sound System, you do one and you do one yourself. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'd probably do one with Renacedo and just show what's the kind of sound
Yeah.
that we're making.
Got some bangers used as well.
Yeah.
Get them in there.
yeah.
People
The ones
see-
you done
people
for us
ask.
was so good. The mix
Yeah.
you done for us.
Oh yeah, he's like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, so
yeah.
good though.
Yeah.
It's another one to have a listen for.
Like you say.
A lot to listen to.
But you make your own tunes as well, don't you?
Yeah, so you were saying like what do you make, and I don't really know how to describe it, but it's like minimal housey sort of vibe. But if we can make a mix that,
Hippie techno.
yeah, we can make a mix that shows what we
Make a
we
mix that
do,
shows what
and
you're on
then-
about, yeah.
and we can plug our Instagram then, Renacedo sound.
So we are. If a meeting's at 10 o'clock, it's midday, and someone says it's getting moved forward 2 hours, is it 10 o'clock or 2?
I'd say 10.
Yeah,
Same,
100%
lads.
10
100%.
Say two.
He says 2. It's getting moved forward. It's getting moved forward.
Yeah,
It's getting moved
Yeah, forward, I'd say
I'm
10.
seeing the way
Back.
forward and I'm going forward, and that's 2 o'clock.
Would you say 2?
Yeah, say 2.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, both is out.
But if it's forward, surely it's coming sooner.
Yeah,
And
but
it's
if you
getting
go
moved back, it's getting moved
actually,
further
if you
away.
go back in time, you do go. Like, if we were to go back in time now, we go to like 7 o'clock. 6
Exactly.
o'clock.
So if we get, I don't know. Actually.
Well, there's a video which says like an ego-centric
Yeah,
view
but
of
when-
time is you think you travel through time, and
When
then
the
there's a
clocks go
time-centric where you
forward,
think
the
you
clocks
just
go
travel with time.
further away.
So,
yeah.
here's another poll for Instagram. Anyway,
Right, so anyway, what we decided to do as well with the Crackle lads coming on, we wanted them to do a mix which has come out on Friday. So we just all given it a listen, and you know what? I loved it. I bloody loved it.
I loved it as well. It's sick.
I was shaking my tushy all night long.
For all 40 minutes.
Nah, just on repeat.
Repeat. Can't get enough. But what we'll do is as well, we'll put a link up as well of your actual mixes as well and everything like that.
Can I just mention DMA quickly as well?
I was just about to say that,
the
like,
site. Yeah, so one of my mates got in touch about a website that he's created, Digital Musical Academy. Now, I know obviously there's loads of sites out there producing music, teaching you, masterclasses, all that.
Yeah.
But what we're trying to develop with this website is a community. In dance music especially, I think there's a lot of selfishness. There's not much
A lot of
sharing.
cliques, isn't there?
Ideas
Yeah.
are never really shared beyond the clique and who you're with. So
Yeah.
we want to create something that's starting with, especially the younger generation, getting them involved with the music early, getting them to share ideas on this community, send samples over, give ideas for each other, maybe collaborate. You can collaborate with someone
Yeah.
across the world and make a
Belter.
tune. So that was like the idea of that. When you sign up, you've got access to DJ tutorials, how to DJ, music tutorials, and also we've got a business side as well about how to brand yourself, branding, how to get your name out there, how to use your social medias. And then we're going to have a well-being section as well on there eventually as well, because I know in dance music it's quite known that people struggle with mental health because of the industry that it is, the lifestyle that it is. So getting yourself on a good routine as well is key. So Digital Music Academy is the website. Obviously you can look on the Instagram first.
We'll put a link up for you as well.
Put the link up for that.
And that's fully operational at the minute, is it?
Yeah, you can sign up now. I think the price is reduced for this month, but I'll have to find out what that is.
Minerva 10% off.
Minerva 10%,
Min 10 for 10% off. But one thing we need to do actually before we do the album of the week is the competition winner. So we're discussing the competition. So are we going to discuss the prizes now? Yeah.
You can do if you want.
Get people excited.
Get them excited. So basically it's
it's a voucher for 2 in it.
For Leaf. So there's one on Smithtown. There's also one, not a Leaf. So branch Leaf. Do you know what I mean? There's one on Smithtown. There's one on Bold Street.
Can you just clarify which Leaf?
One on Bold Street as well. There's
not a Leaf.
No, Leaf.
We need some clarity. Is DNA or not?
It's just Leaf.
Lima Echo Alpha Foxtrot Leaf. Bold Street.
Incense, there's going to be a pack of IPAs, we're going to get a nice
a voucher for somewhere nice.
A voucher for somewhere nice as well. And there's going to be a little Minerva goodie bag as well, which we'll put on stuff about it. But you know what we need to do? We need to announce the winner. So which one are you, handsome, not want to pick out the hat?
I'm not answering, so. Drum roll. You've got Danny Madden.
Smashed it.
So Danny Madden's the winner?
Yeah, he's taking me to Leaf. That's sick, you know.
So yeah,
congratulations. That's a hat full of Danny Madden, isn't it? Prove it's not doing another one.
It's our last who could have won.
You didn't win. Don't do that.
Darren Coyle.
Quit that, will you? He'll be wounded, you know. Go off. Do you know who that's Darren, yeah?
So yeah, going on to next. Congratulations, Daniel Madden, by the way. But we're gonna go on to his album of the week. So what did we all think of?
Sweating me box off, you know.
I am. Feel like I'm in circus here.
It's hot. So album of the week. Have you all listened to it then?
Yeah.
So what did you think on it? Because that's obviously different.
Just to confirm, the album is Nipsey Hussle and it is, what's it called?
Victory Lap.
Victory Lap, that's the one.
Yeah.
It's not normally up my street, but I thought I'd get on the car because that's the best time to listen to music.
It is.
The sun was shining, the windows were down.
The weather was sweet.
I was having a little bop to it, so I wasn't a massive fan, but did feel a bit gangster driving around and me fizzer down.
Low rider.
But yeah, it was it's decent.
I've been labelled a hip-hop hater, which I'm not.
Similar to you, I hold that title a little bit as
Everything
well.
Harry listens to has to be in a 4/4 beat. It has to be that.
And it's the reason why we're doing this thing is I said on the first episode we want to do an album a week. I love somebody going and listen to this, and it's out of my comfort zone when I wouldn't listen to it.
Yeah.
And the album itself, I weren't overly infused with, but I like the story with it. I like what it's about and everything like that. So what are your opinions on sort of the album itself and what?
There's not much about the background to it, and that like.
I don't know much about the background. The album itself, similar to like Nathan and yourself, is not really what I'd listen to normally, but it was nice to listen to something different. That's
what I mean.
You know what I mean?
Well, I'd never listened to it before. It's just the way that, as you say, something you wouldn't usually think to listen to. So
do you know what's great about this though? Because you're passing an album on next week. There's no way we've got on next week I've ever listened to the album music brought. So and they might not. Defo not. Do you know what I mean?
Me.
No, but like that's how you find new music, lad. Do you know what I mean? And like you just don't like it, but we could have had a different guest on, or you just went, not that you didn't like it, you just didn't love it. We could have a guest on who's like, oh my god, that's the best album I've ever heard. That's what music's about, innit?
Yeah,
like,
that's what it is.
Subjective, innit?
Art is very subjective.
But you need to step out your comfort zones to know that, and not many people do with music. And
they don't.
I think people are quite bland with music as well, because I've met people and they're saying like, I don't really listen to music, or I'm not really big on it. And it's like, how can you not spend part of your day just
my life has a soundtrack all throughout the day.
Even brushing my teeth at night.
I put them in there for it.
I get up, I put a tune on. I've got like a morning playlist, and then I'll listen to music all day, and then something to bring you down.
There's not many things that can take you to a part of your life just by sitting there and listening, other than obviously your memories, but your music triggers that, and I think that's the best part of it.
It's special, that's what's special
music
about
for
it.
everything, isn't it?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And even what you
Yeah.
used to do with the mixing, like you
100%.
are putting songs that you might have heard out that you love yourself, and you're getting so much enjoyment, and you're seeing people like when you played Meet Me at the Love Parade, lad, the room was
The
bouncing.
tune that I think Ali does Follow Me, lad. Every time I hear
Yeah.
it, I'd love to be back in Harry's uniform. I'd want to tune.
Bopping away. But going back to the actual album itself, one thing I liked about it is it's not really my cup of tea, but I love the story behind it.
Yeah.
That he was selling mixtapes for hundreds of pounds. He sold to hundreds of Jay-Z
Boss that.
before.
Boss that,
He was
innit?
doing it for like 14
100
years.
of the same mixtape, or
Yeah,
like,
yeah, hundreds of the same.
yeah, and Jay-Z just loved them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was known as like
bought them, yeah.
not the mixtape man, but like he was like
Mr.
that's all he done. All he done was
Yeah.
mixtapes, and then I think he eventually got signed from quite a big record label. Can't remember the name.
Do you know?
No.
I think it was Atlantic. I want to
It's
say
a
Atlantic.
tribute. It's a tribute album, isn't it?
No, so he brought the album out, I think, and then I think the people have been featured have done stuff on it from since. But it came out in 2018, and I got
When
nominated.
did he get shot?
He got nominated for an Oscar. But I don't know if not an Oscar, a Grammy even.
Done well,
The nomination was before he got shot. But he got nominated. And I think I was looking more into it, and like everyone was saying, it's like a celebration, really.
He did probably give back though from when Nat was saying when I looked into it, like he had businesses and like foundations and all sorts, and like where he was from. Do you know what I mean? So it's
like
mad.
people involved, like Kendrick was involved, like CeeLo Green, P Diddy, Puff Daddy, whatever you want to call him. Do you know what I mean?
CeeLo Green, man, remember him?
See you driving right down. What a tune!
Lad, he used to be in Niles Barkley, didn't
Yeah.
he?
Crazy's a tune.
Crazy's a tune, lad.
But like the samples on it as well. You said
Yeah,
you were saying
yeah,
before there was
sample,
all sorts of like big
yeah.
hip hop
The
samples.
Jay-Z
in it.
Annie sample.
Yeah.
It's on it.
Sick.
He's got, I think there's Curtis Mayfield sample
Yeah,
on it
yeah.
as well. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Curtis
it's
Mayfield,
loads.
what a guy.
Yeah, brilliant.
But the actual album, I think at the Grammy got nominated the year after they'd done like a tribute for it, and I think he got an award, and the family come up and accepted it, and that because I think it had a lot of critical, like at the time, critically, and like it was received very well, but commercially done quite well. But I think since when he died and everything like that, I think it done a lot more better, and it was a lot more celebrated.
Yeah.
And
Do you want to miss you when you're gone, mate?
You know what I mean? It happens
These
a lot.
5 episodes are going to blow up, aren't they? As soon as we're gone next week. Do you know what? I hope we're not, touch wood, shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, but going on, obviously, the album.
Shit, shouldn't have said that. You do though, lad. Like, think how many artists, like, when they died, you know, what skaters coming for me.
Gonna turn this podcast down, lad.
You're gonna be
Lad, he's anti-hip-hop,
front
I'm Mr.
line.
Anti-skate, and I don't like that label, I know how you feel now.
and this is not getting edited out.
This is fake news.
But yeah, going on to what you chose for album of the week.
What was it, by the way?
Who is William Onionball? Because I'd never heard of him. I listened to. I've heard of a few songs, but I listened to it beforehand because you mentioned it. And
Well, why
It's
do
a.
that's for next week.
yeah, you're gonna hear more about it next week. But I heard a few tracks.
Oh,
and
is that how it is,
I
yeah?
was impressed.
Just as Darwin.
Just even it, so yeah.
It was William Onionball is the name of, it's a compilation album of some of his best songs
Of William Onionball.
of William Onionball, yeah, and the reason
Who
it's
is
called
William
William
Onionball?
Onionball is because he's a Nigerian musician who was releasing music in Nigeria, and that's pretty much what we know about him. We don't really know much else about him.
Nobody does. That's why the album's called.
He moved to Russia though, didn't he?
But there's stories about him that he was in Russia and he come back from Russia with the. If you look on his albums, like
The sleeve, get the sleeve.
Yeah.
Because it's amazing.
if you look on the albums, they're just pictures of him with like 4 or 5 synths around him and 8 mics, and
Yeah.
people were like, "Where's this fella come from?" And
Oh, so he's still alive now?
no, I think he died like 2013.
Oh, I bet you're loving that, aren't you? I can't see it and I'm loving it.
Yeah, you like that, huh?
Whoa! It's okay.
It's like when the kid drops a plate in the dinner.
So there's actually a documentary about William Onionball and about where they're trying to track him down, and he really wants to just stay anonymous.
Yeah,
really.
you heard the story when he rang him, and he was like, "Oh yeah, we're trying to get in touch. We make this compilation of your music and that."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Why would I want to talk anything about anything other than God?"
Yeah.
And just bailed him, just put the phone down, and
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like,
I think he's a priest,
yeah.
priest now, but he's yeah.
it's amazing because I've never heard of him. Like now, I'm like, I I'm so intrigued. I want to know more about him. I want to know
The story's
the ins and outs. I
interesting.
want to know the
why
story.
he's
Do you know
so
what I mean? Yeah.
He's very like...
So is he not live now? No.
mysterious type of person. He's not around now. No, he died in like 2013, I think. But like, they do catch a bit of him in the documentary, and he seems like
It's a
a
Vice
nice fella.
documentary,
But
innit?
he just doesn't seem like he wants to talk about his music.
Doesn't want the limelight.
Yeah.
Doesn't want the limelight sort of thing. I know what you mean. How did you get onto him, Harry?
It's memories type of thing. What you were saying about music when we were camping, when we was travelling. Me and Louise were travelling. One of our good mates met us, Lewis, and it was a stormy night in Cambodia, and he played William Onyeabor, Atomic Bomb.
Yeah, what a tune.
And it's probably one of my favourite tunes, and that's how I got onto William Onyeabor, and then just all of his music, it's just different. You probably won't have heard anything like it.
Yeah, I've never heard nothing like his tunes.
It's crazy, and it was well ahead of its time as well when he was releasing it in the
Why,
late
when it
70s,
yeah,
80s, yeah.
He released like 6 studio albums, didn't he? From like the late 70s to like the mid 80s, but obviously this compilation's what sort of got.
Is it like sort of remastered? When was it come out? Was it 2013?
I don't even know where he was releasing it from, so he had like his own like record.
Catalogue and that, yeah.
So he had like his own records.
So no one even knows like how he was getting records.
No, he
pressed
weren't
and
like he was just releasing it to like I think like small independents around it. Like if you're trying to get his original vinyls, they're like hundreds and very rare to find.
Yeah.
So that compilation is they've took the best ones that they can
Oh,
find
that's
and
great,
remastered them, but some
It's a
of them
great story as well, there.
yeah, it's a good story, yeah.
It's one thing I want to do a bit of research and I'll come back with some fucking facts next week. But that brings us on to the to our favourite part of the show.
The J-Mac jokes.
Yeah. So am I going to
Let one of them read it.
Do you want to do one?
I'll read one.
So what we'll do is just flick in, read it if it's a bit.
Yeah.
Don't read it if go again, but
Nathan, you don't need the book for that joke, you.
To be fair, you don't. Here we go. This is an original, to be fair. Why was the mushroom invited to the party? Because he was a fun guy.
Have you never heard that one?
Are you allowed to still laugh, by the way?
Of course I am. No, but that was I'm not saying why are you laughing at that joke.
You
were. No, wait, it was just like that was like no, sorry if that's what I come across like because I realised.
I enjoyed it. To be fair, I've heard it before, but like
I was just thinking that sounded like you didn't know what was coming then.
I didn't.
Shut up, lad.
I didn't.
Forgot. One of them.
I know.
I feel terrible now. Skaters
know.
and J-Mac. Getting filled in later. Just gotta offend Paddy now.
Why don't cannibals eat clowns?
Don't know. Why don't cannibals eat
Because
clowns?
they taste funny.
Oh.
It's a slow burner.
I told my friend I was off to California this summer. He told me to be more Pacific, so I went to Hawaii instead.
That's great, that, you know. I'm going to use that tomorrow.
Why are skeletons so calm? Because nothing gets... Oh, that's shite, that.
You started, so you got to finish now, come on.
I don't get it.
Why are skeletons so calm?
'Cause they're
nothing
shite.
gets under the skin.
I'm not sour note. So today, what we've learned is that you need to go to a Crackle event.
What else have you learned?
It's hot in here.
Don't wear grey. It's just a hot day. It hasn't been this hot before though, has it? It's hot today, isn't it?
It's proper pure hot.
It's scorching.
Back to it.
But yeah, today we've learned that about a bit more
Grassroots
about
music's
yeah,
everything.
grassroots music, a local. You know what? We admire what you're doing as well. Obviously, we're mates with you at the same time, but it's good to come to your parties and not just saying it because we're your mates. They're fucking good parties.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? We have a good time. Do you know what I
parties,
mean? And you're all quite good on them wheels of steel as well. Aren't you? But yeah, we're gonna get the mixes up for you, so give them a listen if you can. And as I say, if you want to give any feedback whatsoever or send any mixes through to us, by all means, do it.
Yeah.
But any you want to bring in?
No.
Just like to say thanks a lot for having us on. To be
Yeah.
honest.
No, yeah, thanks for coming out.
Yeah.
Thanks for the invite.
When we
I've
first
enjoyed it.
come up with this, we were like, do you know, it'd be good to get in a room, all four of them.
Yeah.
So it's been a belter to do it.
Yeah,
6
enjoyed
people
it.
having a conversation,
Yeah.
no phones. Do you know what I
Bosh,
mean?
yeah.
So thank you very much.
I've enjoyed it. Thanks a lot.